I had the porn star mustache, I have to admit. So I'm going to try to give even more energy to you. I want to congratulate all of you for just taking the time to be here because showing
Well,
up
I think
most
that your experience in sports teaches you about teamwork, teaches you about...
There we go. Do you mind if I take this jacket off? Is that okay?
Yeah. Yes.
Thanks. All right, so we're doing a little exercise today, and I'm going to do another one. And some of you have seen this before, but it's really important. But before we do that, here's what I'm going to try to share with you in a few minutes in between talking about your beautiful dog. She's a really sweet
She
dog.
wants to be touched by a famous
Have you ever noticed how dogs are incredibly present, right?
Yes.
They're full of love and they're always present. So what you have to do as a kicker, and I'm going to encourage you to mine, to discover, to tap into the kicker in you, if you will, is the ability that is so hard to achieve today, which is to be present. So the idea is, think about this as the kicker. I'm running on the field in front of 80,000 people, sometimes 40 to 50 million people on TV if it's a playoff game. That can freak you out. And you have no warm-up, right? Other positions you'll play 15, 20, 50, 70 plays in a game. A kicker may have one kick, just one kick, and if it doesn't go through, it's not only a horrible game, it may be your career. In fact, I'm going to go into a little bit of this. I only got 15 minutes. So I want to just drill home focusing and winning. Who's a winner? Woo! All right, so who wants to be an absolute kick-ass champion winner? Which means you have to sign up because you're a leader. You have to sign up for pressure and incredibly unfair standards and criticism. Who needs the microphone? I've got a big mouth. All right, so here's the image. I want you first to watch me, and then we're going to close our eyes, and we're going to visualize it. The difference is visualization. Who knows what onomatopoeia is? Bet you don't. Onomatopoeia is a concept we learned at Dartmouth College, which is that the word sounds like what it means. Visualization actually is a crap word, because it forgets the key part of visualization, which is to feel what it's like to achieve it. If you simply visualize it without the emotion, it doesn't stick with you. So my goal for you is to be able to run out to your own field in the middle of the freaking goalposts and playing field of your life and really truly feel the pressure of millions watching you and tap into that confidence and being present, like, what's his name?
Serenity.
Thank you. I love that. And tap into that so you have that presence to overcome what? Fear, anger, resentment. We talk about domestic violence, right? All those emotions that can just completely paralyze you. Because I'll tell you what they did mention on there at the beginning, and then you saw, was I was cut by all those teams. And what I learned was how to focus no matter what. How to not let the bullshit of life distract you. How to not let the losers of life, or the winners, but they happen to be on the other team. So they want you to suck. They want you to miss your field goal, okay? So here's the image, is this right here. How many of you have not seen an NFL game? Oh, all right, well, in the NFL, do you like soccer? No? Okay, well, Google NFL kicker field goal and see it. You're in the middle of the field, you're on an island, and you're choosing, especially in the short term when we're doing the hard work, we are alone, and it is hard, as Mike talked about. It is hard at first. It's very hard. As Bill talked about, what did he say, 3 months of really being hard? Isn't that great to have somebody that doesn't BS you and tell you it's going to be really easy and you won't have... No, you have to be laser-like focused, micro-focused, nano-focused. So this, I came to learn by all those rejections. This right here, where the ball's snapped back and held by my holder, this is my office. This is your office. This is the part, is your sanctuary. You have to be able to control that. Now, What can we control outside of that? Anybody? Nothing. 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 But what can we control is this. Our focus right here. This is not only the office, this is your craftsmanship, this is your artwork, this is where you become your own Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo. Who's a great woman artist? We got to get a name out of here.
Georgia O'Keeffe.
Perfect. Georgia O'Keeffe. Great photographer. Amazing. Perfect. Thank you. This is where your art takes place. Is it easy? Definitely not initially. But then you come to love the hard work, which is the daily hard work where you make it so intense that you feel like you're actually in the real game. Why is that important? Because when you have that discipline, which comes from a vision and a purpose that's bigger than you, that's tapped into God's incredible, unique gifts in you, unbelievable magic happens. Why that's important is that when the real game comes, when you are an attorney and you have to say the right thing to protect your fighter, when you've got a $500 color makeover and it's like with 4 people and you've got a time limit and they're all really famous people and you want to get it just right because they're going to be on the Grammys tonight, whatever that pressured situation is, when you're building a school or you're doing wonderful things for kids in Uganda, whatever it is, and you've got to get this money donated so you can transform the world, you want to be at your right place. So if you practice like that, so that your practice is not neurotic, but it has that level of urgency, then guess what you can do? You can say, I'm back at practice. Now, what's the part that helps you stay focused here is the purpose. Like our friend who's worked in the hotel industry for the last 12, 14 years, who came here from Russia, and we're going to try to help her. We're going to find her a little closer to her tree of purpose. So, what's the purpose? That's it. Find that purpose so that when you're looking down at the football of your life, your purpose becomes really like a perfect electric current between this place and the goalposts. If you can do those two things, it's not easy. That's why I became the most accurate kicker in NFL history. Because I learned to do that. Was I that way at the beginning? Was Bill Walsh the way he is today at the beginning? Was Michael Phelps, was anybody great at the beginning? What did they do? They created a purpose and a faith that God gave them something unique to contribute, and that let them sustain themselves through rejection, missed field goals, horrendous mistakes. Who's not made a really big mistake in their life? Relationship-wise, business-wise. Anybody? Please. So that becomes, as we've said, we had a man named Tim Story with Bill and myself and Sharon at our Think and Grow Rich a couple days ago. Yes, that's your library. That's your sanctuary. So love that, and your success is almost guaranteed because it's what you'll do the rest of your life. What did I have to do? Think about how unique what I had to do was. The ball snapped back, caught, put down, spun, and I'm moving towards the ball, and the ball stopped spinning for 1/10 of a second before I kick it. And I forgot to get my football. I got to go get the football. So, who wants to hold the football for me today? Anybody?
Let's do it.
All right. Jasmine, you can hold today. Let's hear it for Jasmine. And by the way, Mike, it's focus. We have a special gift. If you focus, what is that number?
I'll put it up.
Okay, thanks. Because Bill told me I need to mention that more, so we'll give you a
It's
gift.
2768.
There's a gift to learning. 276 what?
8-6.
2768.
27686.
Focus, guys. Text that and we're going to give you a gift. Because I want you to remember this ability to focus, because Americans, everybody in the world to some degree, but Americans, we have a great gift. That is to be the biggest ADD country in the world. Guess who also was ADD? Michelangelo was ADD. Da Vinci was probably ADD. That capacity to want, to be stimulated, is not a bad thing at all. It's how to harness it. So, let's pretend, because we have limited time, you've got the Raiders, then the LA Raiders, and they're all standing right here to block your kick. You're going to stay back here. We're not going to hit the poor little doggy. Let's see who we're going to kick it to. So, I'm lining up my field goal. I want you to write these 2 words down, or 3 words down. Towards the end of my career, I realized a mechanism. All right, get over there, Bill. I'm going to drill it right at your beautiful smiling face. A mechanism to release, listen to me, to release your mind, to allow your soul, your body, your intellect, everything to act spontaneously, to not be held back by all the BS and all the wounds and the domestic violence and the parental violence and the emotional violence that hold us back, say we aren't good enough. So I want you to write down left foot and explode. I already have a person that told me that they were climbing with their daughter. His name is Aristotle. And he literally was at a dangerous spot where he had to literally jump and pivot and grab onto one of those holds. And he'd heard my talk about left foot and explode. All right, let me explain this. When you're approaching the ball of your life, the opportunity of your life, that left foot as I'm coming towards the ball is, I say left foot to align myself with my purpose. If you're not aligned, Katarina, we're going to help you get more aligned. Bill Walsh and his power team are going to help you all get aligned so you stop wasting time with the bullshit. So that you look back and you say, I stopped wasting time. I'll tell you, in college, the semesters when I had the most work were the ones I had the best grades. Isn't that interesting? Because I didn't have time to BS. So left foot, align your target, and then explode, which is don't hold back. Psychology says, literally, when we try to be too perfect, that's when it takes only the part of our brain that controls the large muscle groups, and all of the fine-tuning, all of the subtleties are disappeared. We stop being an artist. So, write that down. Left foot, who wants to catch this? It's so low, I don't want to try that. Who wants to try it? Put down that football, put down your camera. Down the middle, right? No warm up, nothing. Why? Last idea. This is really important, please. What we're trying to do, why Bill Walsh is so good. He's giving you, as I told you, Katarina, an hour and a half ago. 2 hours ago. He's giving you so much that some has got to penetrate that will stick with you. We want you to practice this and practice this and practice this so much that it goes from the idea that I want to be a good kicker to the subconscious of planting it in over and over. It's not 10,000 hours, it's 10,000 mistakes. Just promise yourself that 10,001st time you'll get it right, and that's all you have to do. Okay, you with me?
Yeah.
That's it. We want you to free yourselves so that your purpose is so big. I only get a little bit of time here. I'm just going to share one last point about that Sharon Lecter gets, that Bill gets. Sharon, I love you, and I just love the person you are.
Yes.
And the reason is she takes all of this success and she does something with it. And I noticed in my third year in the NFL, I had the chance to give back. And I noticed the more I gave back, the more beautiful it was. So write this down, and I want you to Google this. Champions for the Homeless, Nick Lowery, Fox 10, Christmas. And there's a story there of a man, and it just shows you what we do. We're doing it our 44th time this Sunday because it fills me up. I'm the one getting so much out of it. And this man says, I'm from Ohio, and I'm a homeless man. I said, I've just been here for a month, and I've never felt so much love and hospitality in all my life. So the beautiful thing is, when you go through the shit, the hard work, the rejections, the mistakes of life, you're learning to focus so that no one will take you off of what really matters. and then greatness is assured. And it's not greatness that is a photo op or a selfie. It's greatness that you carry with you your whole life, because it is a file cabinet in your soul that God made that is infinite. Dr. John DeMartini, co-writer of The Secret, talks about that. When we have our left foot aligned and our values aligned, and we have a purpose, the brain secretes chemicals that aren't just endorphins. They literally expand that neural highway from a path to a paved road to a super highway. And it never stops. So as good as I used to be at recruiting people to help with Champions for the Homeless, now it's like I almost don't have to do it because people love it so much. And it fills them up with that incredible reinforcement of why we're doing this, why we go through the pain of life. You with me?
Yes.
So God bless you. Thank you for listening. Favorite quote of all time, Teddy Roosevelt. It's not the critic who counts, not the man or woman who points out how the brave man or woman stumbled. The credit belongs to the man or woman who is in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood and probably a lot more. And in the end, may fail, but if they fail, at least they know the triumph of high achievement and are never lost with those cold and bitter souls who know neither victory nor defeat. We are winners in here because we will learn and are learning and are committed to being great, not just for ourselves, but for a better world. God bless you. Thank you for listening to me. Let's take some time.
Does he give us all?
Yes.